Every time the Dodgers hit a home run, fans erupt in celebration, never knowing they're cheering on hollowed ground where three thriving Mexican-American neighborhoods, Palo Verde, Bishop, and La Loma, were bulldozed to make way for America's favorite pastime. They called it urban renewal. We call it what it was, ethnic cleansing with a government stamp of approval. Picture this, you're told your neighborhood is blighted and needs to be renewed, but you look around and see thriving families, children playing, gardens growing, community festivals. That's exactly what happened to the residents of what we now call Chavez Ravine. In 1948, LA designated these three neighborhoods as the first blighted areas to be rebuilt under the new urban renewal theory. But here's what they don't teach you in school. Before 1940, restrictive covenants barred Mexican Americans from buying homes in most of LA, so families scraped together everything they had to buy in the few places they were allowed: Palo Verde, Bishop, and La Loma. For generations, they built lives there. They weren't squatters or renters. They were homeowners who had overcome legal discrimination to achieve the American dream in the only place that allowed them to have it. Think about it, that's kind of crazy that Mexicans were not even allowed to buy land. But by July 1950, the city sends letters to Chavez Ravine residents. You have to sell your homes to make way for public housing called Elysian Park Heights. They used eminent domain, paying families pennies on the dollar, promising first rights to the new housing.
They never gave us the right price, so everybody that sold their property in Chavez Ravine had to go in debt.
Most families reluctantly left. Norris Polson ran for mayor on an anti-public housing platform and won. 1 week after taking office, he canceled the Elysian Park project entirely. But here's the kicker that makes this completely illegal. Eminent domain law requires seized land to be used for public works, not handed to private companies. When the housing project was canceled, the land should have been returned to the families, but instead it sat empty from 1953 to 1958, while the city secretly negotiated with the Brooklyn Dodgers. Then in May 9, 1959, Black Friday, the darkest day, despite ongoing legal challenges, sheriff's deputies stormed the last homes. Aurora Arachega clung to a wooden post screaming as officers dragged her away while news cameras rolled. A community that survived legal discrimination, economic hardship, and decades of struggle was destroyed in minutes. Not for public housing as promised, but for a private baseball stadium. The illegal transfer to a private corporation, not public use, means descendants have a legitimate claim that has never been properly addressed.